Hello guys, my name is Yash Bhatnagar. I am the founder and creative head of Pixel Candy Studio. It's a design agency that basically design brands for different businesses. Okay, so today in this video, I'll be taking up a very basic topic as why brand design is important and how it can increase your revenues drastically. But before going it further, I would like to tell about what is brand. You need to first understand the definition of brand before designing the brand. A brand is nothing but a gut feeling of your customer. Okay? Now, brand is basically what your customer feels about you as compared to your competitors. Okay? You cannot change that feeling, but yes, you can definitely influence it. And you have guessed it correctly, you can influence it by brand design. With a proper brand design and with proper strategy, you can influence the customers, or you can influence your customers as how they will feel about your brand or about your business. Okay, so I have jotted down 11 points that you can take up while designing your brand. Number one, you need to understand the business. For example, if a client comes to you, okay, you need to first understand that what business he's going to open up. Okay, now the second point is you need to understand the kind of customers he is going to be dealing up with. Okay, for example, if a client comes to you, okay, or if a customer comes to you and if he says that, okay, my plan is to open up a candy shop. Okay, so you are number one point is very much clear. Okay, that he is going to open up a candy shop. Okay, now number 2 point is, because he's going to open up a candy shop, you are very much clear that he's going to cater kids. Okay, now the second point is also clear. Okay, the first and second point is clear. Now comes up the third point, a mood board. What is a mood board? A mood board is basically the first thing that you need to start up with. A mood board is kind of a pixel. Okay, a pixel is basically the first thing, right, when you design a graphic artwork or anything. Okay, for all the graphic designers out there, you understand that what is pixel, right? So a mood board is just like a pixel. You need to first finalize the mood board. Okay, like as I have given you an example of a candy shop. So you know that if a client is opening up a candy shop and it is for children, the mood board should be colorful, number one. Number two, it should be funky, it should be playful. Okay, now you know you have finalized that, okay, this is the mood board. Okay, I have finalized the mood board. I know that what kind of a business the client is coming up with. I know that what kind of customers he is going to cater. Okay, now these you are aware, or you have finalized the 3 points. Now comes up the fourth point. The fourth point is the custom color palette. Okay, color palette is very important for any business. Why I am saying color palette is important? Because whenever a client or whenever your customer will see the similar kind of color palette of any other business, he'll be reminded of your business first. And for every business, hammering your business in your customer's mind again and again is the most prior thing, or is the only thing that you can do to improvise your sale or to make your clients mark onto their mind. Okay, now the fifth point is font finalization. For me, I generally prefer 2 types of fonts. I finalize 2 kinds of fonts for every business. One is the primary font and second is the secondary font. Primary font is one which you are using for their logo or for their headlines or for any artworks, for all the primary artworks that your customer or your client will be dealing up with. Okay, now the secondary font is the font that complements the primary font. Okay, for example, if a client is coming up, if I'm taking up a similar example, like a client is coming up with a candy shop. Okay, so the primary font will be the logo, the text that you are using to design up the logo, or if you are coming up with a menu, the headlines will be of the primary font and all the other things, all the small things will be of the secondary font, and you need to finalize the secondary font so that it complements the primary font as well. Now, after that, coming up with the 6th point, that is design up a proper logo for your brand. A logo is very important. A logo is the face of your brand. Without a logo, no one will be able to recognize your brand in the market. So a logo should be very important. It should be very simple so that every customer should memorize it, your client should memorize it at a single glance. Number one. Number two, it should be of very simple colors, not more than 2 colors, so that it pops up at any situation, whether it is in a bright background or whether it is in a dark background. Okay, so having a logo is very important. Okay, now coming up with the 7th point is you need to have a matching stationery. Most of my clients says that why stationery? We can print a letterhead, a simple letterhead, and then give it to for our official works, or why to use a fancy visiting card? Guys, I would like to tell you that having a professional stationery that matches up your brand is very important, because you need to make a mark in your customer's mind. And by giving a fancy visiting card, a good visiting card to your customers is very important. When your customer will see your visiting card, and if your visiting card is matching up with all the other brand identity of your business, it will give a good mark in your customer's mind, number one. Number two, a letterhead. Whenever you are giving up a letterhead to a customer or for any official work, that person will surely see, it will be a really positive impact in the mind of that particular person. Now, coming up with the 8th point, that is photography. Photography is one of the prior things that you need to take care of, which majority of the people don't do. People generally see photographs and they relate it with themselves. You need to finalize some photo shoots and it should match up with the mood boards that you have finalized. Okay? For example, if I take with a similar example of candy shop, you need to do a photo shoot that matches up the similar mood board. Like it should be colorful, it should be playful, it should include kids. Okay? So that whenever a kid or whenever a potential customer sees that photograph, he or she should relate it with themselves. Okay? It will not only give a good impact for your business, but it will also increase your sale because the client is directly connecting it with themselves. Okay? Now, number 9th point is iconography. Iconography is the kind of icons that you are choosing up for your business. And yes, you are right, it should also match up with your brand. Having a creative icon will not only attract customers, but will also help in improvising your sale. You can use the similar kind of icon, you can use some custom icons that matches up your brand. Okay? You can use a similar kind of icons on your packaging or on your any of the artworks that is basically necessary for your business. Now, coming up with the 10th point, that is the website. In today's world, website is having a very major role in every business. You need to have a good website. A website is basically kind of your second store or your second office. Okay? You are sitting up in one city and your customer is sitting up on another city. And if he sees your website and your website is very good, is very attractive, he will definitely give you a first chance to serve you. So having a creative, a good looking, a minimalist website that matches up your brand is very necessary. Okay? Now, coming up with the last point, that is the email ID. Yes, email ID is very important. Every one of us is having a Gmail ID and Outlook ID, but that is not all. You need to have a custom email ID that matches up your business name. For example, my business name, my agency name is Pixel Candy Studio. So my email ID is creatives@pixelcandystudio.com. Okay, so whenever I send a mail to my customer or my client, a positive impact has been thrown onto their mind that okay, by the mere name Creatives, I am explaining the kind of business that I am dealing up with. Plus, pixelcandystudio.com gives a positive impact that a customer knows that okay, I am having a good website and now I can surely see that he's having a creative website. Okay, number one. Number two, he's dealing up with a proper email ID. So a positive impact has been thrown on their mind, and basically that's the only thing that you need to tell your customers that okay, you are not just a mere business, you are a brand in the market. So these are the 11 points that you need to take up, okay, in order to design a wonderful brand identity. Okay, now I would like to say that all the best, and if you are having any trouble in designing brand, you can contact me. You can follow us on Instagram, okay, the links are there in the description. You can follow us on Instagram, or you can subscribe to the channel, okay. You can visit our website, or you can directly email us at creators@pixelcandystudio.com or marketing@pixelcandystudio.com. Thank you so much, guys. Namaste.